came out, and it was amazing. Moose came out saying, Oba Femi, you're the ruler, I'm the ruler, you don't rule over me. And he said eventually it's going to be Moose versus Oba Femi. And I said that myself. I've been saying that for months. What if he comes on the show and now he's here? Great moment of that happening. Doesn't get any better than over Femi and Moose. It don't get no better than that. It was a great way to open up NXT. But I loved every moment of it, and the crowd just went wild. Next part of the show, we had a triple threat match. This was a number one contendership for Stephanie Walker's North American Championship. And there's great moments by Jaida and Kelani, which is going at it. They just ignore Karmen in the beginning. She got advantage. You had Shanti Adonis, of course, holding his woman down, being a male valet. But other than that, though, this was good. They all three of them have been showing growth on this show. I've been seeing the growth in Kelani and Jaida, and of course, Karmen is continuing to grow. Everyone had good offense. While Jaida was showboating after doing her move on Karmen, Karmen went and pinned. She went and pinned Kelani, and she's your new number one contender for Stephanie Walker's title. Afterwards, she would get jumped by Fatal Influence. They would jump her, everything like that. And next thing you know, Jordan Grace came out, and it will be a six woman tag match later on. Next match, another good banger. We had the team of Zaria and Ruca, the tag team that continues to build, versus the Meta Girls known as Lash Legend Jakara Jackson. And again, women are still building. Jakara and Lash are getting better and better. Jakara's getting Lash on the dive. She's looking more smooth. I remember Jakara, the progress. She was like clumsy wrestling, and now she's definitely growing. Zaria and Ruca definitely moving. We saw the face-off between Zaria and Lash Legend, the powerhouses on each team, and they held it down. And also we saw how Zaria, was able to call off Lash and Jakara. She tapped Ruca for the Soul Snatch, and they got the win. Good win for those teams. He did not make Lash and Jakara look bad. They still look strong, even in the taking the L. Next match of the night, we had Shawn Spears versus Channing Lorenzo Stacks. Tony D, of course, is still out from last week's attack by Shawn Spears. He said he had to step up for the team. He did the best he could. He was no match for Shawn Spears. He got the dub over him. And we know Shawn Spears is going to eventually challenge Tony D'Angelo for the North American Championship. Next match we had the signing, actually. Ricky Starks signs his NXT contract. So Ricky is a part of Ricky Saints, not Starks. He is a part of NXT now. He was interrupted twice. And he was interrupted by Ethan Page at first. Von Evans came to attack him. Ricky and Ethan was both in AEW, so some history there. Then later on, Wesley came out being disrespected earlier. Shara Schreiber interviewed Ricky instead of ignore Wesley. And, of course, Wesley got that work by Ricky Saints. But welcome to NXT Ricky Saints. Then we had another match. Eddie Thorpe, he is hot off that win for being Trick Williams at Dangerous Day in that strap match. He took on Andre Chase. He got that boy that work. And Andre Chase, he still losing momentum. Still not the same, but Eddie Thorpe pinned him 1-2-3. Then we have the main event. We got 6-woman tag. Jordan Grace, first time ever in the NXT ring as a WWE superstar. So her, both champion Julia and Stephanie, NXT Women's Champion and the North American Champion versus the team of Federal Influence. Solid match, solid main event. Jordan Grace has some good offense, good tags. Her, Stephanie. I like how they both was using power. JC Jane has some offense. Fallon Henley has some offense. But as you can see, that powerhouse, that team was not enough for Julia, Stephanie Walker, and Jordan Grace. And that was it. Jordan Grace had a good dive, good muscle buster. And I gotta say, Julia and Stephanie with the strikes, no other. And at the end, we saw Julia and Stephanie raising a titles high. Jordan in the middle with no title. She looked at both Julia's and Stephanie's title. Whose title is she going to go for? So, well, let's go over the show. I mean, the show is one of the best NXTs I've seen. Everything hit on all cylinders. The show was like scorching hot. It was on fire. Rating 4.5 out of 5. I give this show. Great moments for Moose. He appearing on talking to Oba Femi, and later on he would finish title next week against Lexus King. You know, of course, we had a new number one contender, which is Karmen Petrovic. So we got that as well. We also have Ricky Starks being an official part of NXT. Then at the end, we also had men being attacked backstage of that new stable. Still don't know their name yet. They were attacked. They attacked Robert Stone, the assistant GM to Ava, that closed out the show after the main event. But definitely good, guys. 4 out of 5. I definitely give it a good show. But we gotta go over what went wrong and what went right with NXT. Let's go over a couple things before we get to the current news and the bonus round, shall we? First thing we gotta talk about, Fatal Influence. Is this the beginning of the end of Fatal Influence? It seems like they've been maybe going on a downside. Ever since Fallon Henley lost her Women's North American Championship, they always, other than her having that title, Fatal Influence is always mostly on the losing end. I know they're heels and all, but is this a signal that things may be ending for them very soon? You know, that's just a thought. Could it be? Could it not be? That remains to be seen. That's the question. But we got to talk about it, though. But other than that, though, I would say that's definitely could be the beginning of the end. Not right now, but could be beginning.
You know what's going to happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So that could be the beginning of the end for Fatal Influence. We're going to see what's going to happen next. Well, than that, though, they're still stable. Another thing I want to discuss here, what went wrong that I haven't noticed in weeks. Remember these two ladies? And we're talking about Thea Hale and Wendy Chu. We have not seen Thea Hale since Chase U disbanded. We have not seen Wendy Chu in months. Wendy Chu, last time I saw, she was teaming with Rosemary Turner at TNA Bound for Glory. Where's she at? I mean, where these ladies at? I hope they're not being released because we had a recent release list. We have not seen these women announce that they will be released, but I hope that's not the case here. I really hope it's not. I hope it's not. But other than that, though, I hope we see them soon. Sooner than later or never again. Hopefully not again.
You know what's going to happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So, another thing I want to notice too, that I also saw wrong. Let's see. Another thing I do want to notate besides that went wrong. Speaking of Thea Hale, not her necessarily. Thing about it is another issue I saw on the show. No, it could be just me. It could be just me that noticed it. But it's another issue that I've seen on here that may be a problem. It may be a problem. And the problem I'm talking about right now is we're talking about Andre Chase. Where's this Andre Chase character going since the whole Chase U was done? Where's it going? What's happening next with it? Because I don't know. I don't know what's the whole angle. You know, I don't know what's going to come back. I don't know what's going to happen, you know, what he's going to change because he's been like this for weeks. What is the whole angle? Is he going to go back to Andre Chase U, or he going to be similar to the whole Sad Corbin, Matt, Happy Corbin, maybe hits the lottery. That seems like that's where they're going with him. But if that's so, that might work. It might not work. But right now, it's still like it's up in the air. Other than that, that's how I see things going right now for Andre Chase.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So that's another thing I saw on there. Well, let's move on to what went right, because there's definitely a lot of things went right on this show. If I talk about what went right for a long time, this string will be this whole thing will be going on for a long time. But let's talk about what went right with NXT. First off, let's state the obvious. Oba Femi and Moose box office match, right? We finally got the best of the best big man from TNA, best big man or the best of NXT, and they both hold the titles. Oba, NXT champion, Moose, former TNA world champion, current X Division champion. But either way, this match here, it's money.
Yeet.
And speaking of which, with Moose, I like the fact that he's going to defend the title next week against Lexus King, the X Division Championship. And we're going to talk about the Hardy Boys. They was called up by No Catch Quarter Crew. They will defend the belts next. They TNA tag team belts against No Catch Quarter Crew. Either way, again, this is money.
Yeet.
But let's get on to more of that. That's two things I've seen. That's just everything's going well. Everything going well. Then another thing we'll talk about, Ricky Saints signing with NXT. This is gold. Ricky Saints official with NXT. Signed a contract. He already teased a feud with Wesley and Ethan Page. This is money. Again, this is money. I can't say it enough.
Yeet.
So I love where this is going with these men as well. Speaking of which, let's talk about next week's matches, guys. Let's talk about it. Next week's matches, as advertised, will be as follows. We got ourselves here a tag team match of Ricky Starks and Javon Evans. Ricky Starks' first match on the NXT roster. Amazing, right? We have that versus Ethan Page and Wesley. We have another tag team match. The tag team match we have now, it will be the Hardy Boys defending their TNA Gold, TNA World Tag Team belts against the Northwest Quarter Crew of Tavion Heights and Miles. I forgot his name. But you guys know who I mean. Karmen Petrovic will go one-on-one challenging Stephanie for the Women's North American Championship. And Moose will defend his X Division Championship. I believe first time ever TNA's defended their belt, a singles belt, and as well as a tag team belt on NXT turf. Him against Lexus King. But this is great though. Great. I can't wait to see what else is going to happen next. Now, let's move on to current news in wrestling today. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the current news. All right, current news we got going on right now. The current news we have will be power rankings, men's and women's. Well, let's talk about the men's first. All right, we got the power rankings of men. Cody Rhodes was number 1 this week. CM Punk number 2, Jey Uso 3, Roman Reigns 4, Cena 5, Logan Paul 6, Adam Copeland 8-7, Kenny Omega 8, Jacob Fatu 9, Penta 10. Do you guys agree with this power list of the week? Jay is still hot at number 3, and Cody went to number 1. Well, let's get on to the women's. Now we got the power ranking of women's. Toni Storm number 1. I agree with that. She just regained the AEW Women's Championship. Timmy Stratton 2, Rhea 3, Harley Cameron 4, who wasn't rated last week. Charlotte Flair 5. Alexa Bliss 6, Roxanne Perez 7, Mariah May went down 4, 8 because she lost the belt. Chelsea Green went down. She'll never defend that belt hardly. Number 9, Io Sky 10. So that's the power rankings they have. Just want to know, let you guys know about that. But since we're done with that, we're done. We discussed everything. TNA star moves will arrive in NXT to confront Oba. Let's talk about the bonus round. Let's get to it. So we're gonna talk about that right now. All right, guys. All right. We're gonna talk about something that needs to be made official, or something I believe we're going on for months now. Let's be honest, brutally honest. Why NXT is no longer still considered a developmental brand? Let's get the likes up. Let's talk about it. Now we know that NXT, the history of NXT is very rich. Let's go down, take a trip down memory lane. NXT, of course, started out in 2012, and it was a part of the WWE network. And we know that it was on there for 2012 up until 2019. So we know they build a lot of stars there. So that's inevitable. NXT was destined to be great. Started by Triple H. Got rid of that whole reality show in the beginning. Whole rebrand and started over. Now we know that they ran that for years. We know NXT always building. Like I said, them building is nothing new. It just only gets stronger. NXT is pretty much like a rubber band that can't never break. You add more rubber bands to the bunch, it just cannot break. It cannot fold. That's how I feel like NXT is. You can't break that rubber band because it's a bond. It's always a bond with the audience, the independent, relating to NXT's independent audience, independent scene, the fans, everything. But it just builds, and it's continue to do that. Don't believe me? Let's look at what's going on today. NXT has developed many main eventers and world champions. Look right now. Gunther, NXT UK World Heavyweight Champion. Rhea Ripley, NXT Women's World Champion. Tiffany Stratton, the WWE Women's Champion. Braun Breaker, the Intercontinental Champion. Shinsuke Nakamura, the United States Champion. Lyra Valkyria, the Intercontinental Champion. Chelsea Green also, she's not pictured, Women's United States Champion. All these people you see on here with championships, whether they're mid-card or world titles, they started their career in NXT, and now they're world champions. So they started their career there. So that's what it means by building. And with that, NXT continues to grow. Now later on, NXT, they went down for a little bit. They took a little backseat for a while. If you guys remember, it went to the NXT 2.0 back in 2020. You had that for a while. But people like Braun Breaker and Roxanne Perez, Cora, they held it down. They did the best they could. And even that couldn't stop it because if you guys remember, it also went to the USA Network, coming from the WWE Network to USA Network in 2019. So it definitely grew. And then shortly after this whole NXT 2.0, when Triple H was down, when he was sick and then people didn't think Troy was going to make it, he had the heart issue. When he returned and recovered, he went to become head of the main roster, be head creative. Shawn Michaels took over NXT 2.0, and then he rejuvenated NXT and make it the brand new black and gold. So he did that. And we noticed too, because NXT also, this is how the whole NXT versus AEW Dynamite started in 2020, the whole Battle Wars. It started with the 2.0, and I ain't gonna lie, AEW was defeated NXT at that time. NXT was down, like I said, took a hit. AEW was up. That's what they was bragging. But they did, when they rejuvenate back to a new black and gold, I want to say 2021, 2022-ish. It definitely been up ever since then. And as a result of that, NXT, they got rewarded for their work. They went to the CW, which they are now. They moved from USA to CW in 2024. So what I'm saying all this because I don't see NXT as a developmental brand. It started off that way, but now it has grown so much. It's so much beyond that now these days. It's so much far beyond that. NXT is just it would be offensive and disrespectful to call NXT at this point a developmental brand. No, it's a third brand. It's an alternative brand, you call it, but not developmental. Let's see the proof. I mean, look at all these partnerships they done with WWE. And I'm saying that not only main roster people go to these organizations for the partnership, most of the wrestlers from WWE, no matter what brand they on, that go to TNA, Pro Wrestler Noah, and Blood and GCW, Bloodsport X, most of these people, they come from NXT. The partnership proves that. And then the biggest partnership of them all, we already know, is TNA. It's making NXT the top brand in WWE. These partnerships with TNA and Noah and I believe all Japan Wrestling, GCW, Bloodsport X, Marigold, that's what's helping NXT become a top brand in WWE. That's what's helping it get there. That's what people don't understand. That's what's making it the top brand. And that's what's making NXT so elite at this point. So I don't think I know it's not a developmental brand anymore. It was long ago. But I don't see it as that anymore. It has evolved so much. It has gotten better so much. NXT right now is at an all-time high. Higher than the original Black and Gold. No disrespect to Black and Gold. It's better than that. We're in the black and silver era. This is black and silver. No, it's not black and gold. It's not the second coming of black and gold, the rejuvenated black and gold. It is black and silver now. It's making a difference. Like I said, NXT definitely come a long way from moving to the USA Network when they did that. Now they on CW. So it's definitely building every single day. Non-stop. Question is, when is NXT not building? That's the question we want to ask ourselves. Because it's always building, it's always something fresh and new. Now I know also too, another reason that NXT is not a developmental brand anymore, because someone has taken its rightful spot of being a developmental brand. And we talk about Evolve. Evolve returns. I know Evolve was around before. It will debut back in March of this year. We're going to see Evolve. Evolve will be consisting of pretty much the stars of the WWE ID program, the next in line, people that are not on NXT television. So it will be on Tubi. So this is going to be big for WWE. WWE steady making moves every single day. When are they not making moves? And Evolve is going to do great. That will be the developmental brand for WWE. So if that's the developmental brand, what do we call NXT? Exactly. It's not a developmental brand anymore. It's not a developmental brand anymore. It's not. So speaking of which, WWE, I know you guys know, WWID has new belts. Triple H showed on his Twitter, or X, I'm sorry. The one with the white strap is the women's. The one with the black straps the men's. It's like you do all the other titles. It's mixed reactions. Some people like it, some people don't. Me personally, it's the first generation of the belt. It's a brand new thing. Of course, they're going to update later. It's not a bad belt to start off. It's the first ever WID belt. So, and I'm pretty sure that's going to have some conjunction into the whole WWE Evolve. So this is Evolve. It's going to be big. I will keep an eye on that. I may even consider doing a weekly review on it, just like I do Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. I'm considering it. So we got to keep an eye out on that. But other than that, NXT, Evolve, NXT is the best. It's the best brand on TV. And I'm so happy where NXT come with from the beginning. Everything. Just the growth. You can tell by logos that they're getting better. Just by the look of the logos getting better. Other than that, though, guys, that's all I have regarding why NXT is no longer considered a developmental brand. You guys let me know what you think about that. If you think it's still a developmental brand. Also, they tried a third brand in 2019, making NXT World Titles. Didn't work. We all know who's in charge of WWE back then. Times have changed since then. But you guys let me know what you think. Soon to reveal the public, guys. Click the links below. Until then, guys, you already know what it is at this point. OUT.
Something happened this weekend, and I have been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and